Hey, hey, hey. DJ Vinyl Vertigo here. Welcome to my channel. And it's Monday night. It's the 11th of August. And you know what tomorrow is? The 12th of August. And you know what that is? It's Darnell Day. Kid Creole. Thomas August Darnell, what's his name? Browder. Yeah. Um, he is the mastermind of two of my favorite bands from the late '70s, early '80s that should have been bigger in the United States, but just weren't, even though they were really cool. Um, Dr. Brazard's Savannah Band and Kid Creole and the Coconuts. And I'm sure many of you know who these guys are, and they should be more praised than they were, because they were very innovative, they were very unique, and they carved out a little niche just like the B-52s did, just like Devo did. They were kind of like the Latin African American version of that quirky novelty, but really talented bunch of people who carved their little space for themselves in the music industry by doing something really different. And I'm going to talk about August Darnell. Happy birthday, August Darnell. Your birthday's tomorrow. Um, but August was born August 12th, 1950. He will be 75 tomorrow. Um, Going 75 young, still going strong. And he was an English teacher. He was also a multi instrumentalist, composer. He played bass for, I guess, earlier bands that he did. He created a group in 1974 with his half brother, Stony Browder. And they created a group called Dr. Buzzard's Savannah Band. And they had another band before that. I don't remember the name of the band they had before that, but what's most important is that they created this band. They had a band, they broke up. He got serious, became an English teacher, the whole thing, but he missed it, so he came back to music. And in 1979, Dr. Brazard's Savannah Band was born, and they got a record deal like pretty much quickly, and they put out their first album. I don't have it on vinyl. I have it on CD. I thought I had it on vinyl. I'm like, really? Whoa! I gotta have this on vinyl because it's really great. This is a classic. This is just self-titled record, Dr. Brazard's Savannah Band, with vocalist Corey Day in there, and this had like this big band kind of thing going on with it. Very Latin inspired, disco Latin music, jazzy kind of stuff, but early jazzy kind of stuff. And this album came out in 1976. And this record had so many great tunes on here. They actually used a Cole Porter song called Night and Day as part of one of their songs. But we got it made / Night and Day. But the big hit on this record was called Cherchez la Femme. Cherchez la Femme, yeah. And then also I Play the Fool for You, oh girl. But they also had another great song called Sour and Sweet, which was really great, Lemon and Honey. But Sun Shower got me by the hour, wanting you, oh baby. So it was very Latin inspired. It had that kind of Latin feel. It was very Bronx, I think. I thought it had that kind of flavor. It could almost have been in the Nathaniel All Stars, even though it was not salsa. Um, and really, great first album for them. They came out with, I think, one or two other records. I got their second record. To me, it wasn't as good as the first album. The first album had so many great songs on it. Um, this one was called Dr. Brazard's Original Savannah Band meets King Penet. And look at that. And it's got all this stuff going on. There's a gatefold. Kind of interesting. All the lyrics are there. Yeah, there's lyrics there, and all the stuff. But on this, they do it like a movie. It's like a cast of characters, all that kind of stuff. The songs on this one, I Always Have a Smile for You, Mr. Love, The Gigolo and I, Organ Grinder Smile, Soraya, March of the Ninjas, Transistor Madness, Nocturnal Interludes, Of Wiedersehen, Dario. I think Of Wiedersehen was the big song. But Corey Day, again, was on this record as well, with Stoney Brown and August Darnell, of course, Mr. Limelight in the band. Again, same kind of thing with a lot of orchestrations and kind of that sound, that Latin disco mix of a jazzy kind of thing, very 40s kind of. You can see they do that kind of thing, very 40s. This album to me wasn't as good as the first album. Then they had another record that I don't remember the name of it, but I believe it had a song called Pow Wow or Peace Pipe, which was a great song. It was the last time Corey Day was with them, I think. But I think what happened was, after this record, I believe, August Darnell wanted to he was done with Savannah Band because I guess maybe creative differences, maybe there was something going on, but there was something else that he wanted to do. 1980 was the birth of his alter ego, which was Kid Creole. And he got the name Kid Creole. He changed it. Kid Creole, he used from the Elvis Presley movie, Kid Creole. He got that name from that. And so he decided to create a new band. The persona was these really jivey guys, very Cab Calloway zoot suits and the slick back hair and all that kind of stuff, bringing all that back to big band with also a Latin flair with a little bit of a dance music thing going on, but very, very big band jazz. And their first album was called Off the Coast of Me. I don't have that in CD or on vinyl. I know this is looking pretty disastrous, but believe me, I have stuff to show you. And the song on there for me was, they had another hit song on there, but for me it was the song Mr. Softy. I thought that was a great song, Mr. Softy. And before let me back up for a second. Before he started Kid Creole and the Coconuts, which was the band that came out with the first album, Off the Coast of Me, he joined a band called Machine, and he co-wrote a song with them called "There But for the Grace of God." I think if you were in the clubs back in the late 70s or actually the early 80s, because I think that was in 1979. No, that was 79. Yeah, 79, 80. There before the grace of God, there goes I. Oh, I. It was really big in the clubs. So that was a big hit. He co-wrote with Machine. After that, he decided to go off on his own, and he created Kid Creole persona, and then Kid Creole and the Coconuts. The Coconuts are the three girls that are the backups, like the Raylettes, that kind of thing. So, and lots of different women were in that little world. Even the woman who sang the Twin Peaks theme, I can't think of her name right now, but somebody could put it in the comment section if you remember her name. She just passed away a few years ago, but she sang the theme song to Twin Peaks. She was in the Coconuts for a while. Chase, Julie something, Julie Cruz, that's her name, Julie Cruz. She was in the Coconuts for a while. So that was the first thing. 1981, they had Off the Coast of Me. Then 1982, they came up with this record. I think it was 1982. No, this is 1981. 1980, I guess they had another album the same year, and that was called Fresh Fruit in Foreign Places. I'm sure you've seen this in record stores. Fresh Fruit in Foreign Places. Really cool lettering and stuff. Really like that. And this has Going Places, In the Jungle. Animal Crackers was a big thing for them. Let's see. Table Manners, probably another one. But again, Andy Hernandez became part of the group, and they really took off with that Latin flavor, with that Cab Calloway kind of swagger, and they really, really rose to the occasion. And again, their music was very set in the times of the Depression. So we were having a recession at that time. So they were using the Depression idea to talk about the recession, but in a very comedic way, satirical, a lot of satirical lyrics and stuff. They always did satirical lyrics, and it was always kind of weird love songs, songs about hard times, um, just sarcastic songs about love. They were never really serious. It was always something very sarcastic about relationships and love. I just would love that kind of stuff. I'm going to just show you the records that I have. The next one that I have by them was in 1982, excuse me. And this is Kid Creole and the Coconuts, Wise Guy. Here they are on the beach. They always have really interesting. See what I mean? They're very similar. They remind me a lot of B-52s, except the B-52s were into space, and these guys were into like retro. Okay, and space at that time was retro too, because that would B-52s was into that 50s space thing. Well, they were into the 40s, 30s and 40s depression kind of thing. The songs on this, I'm a Wonderful Thing, Baby, was a big hit for them. I'm a Wonderful Thing, Baby. And also Stool Pigeon, Stool Pigeon. Also Annie, I'm Not Your Daddy. Annie, I'm Not Your Daddy. But really great. And they called their music, as satirical as they were, they go, we do race music. They were really cool. Here's the skipper, which is Hernandez right there. And here is the Kid Creole, August Darnell. And here's two of the Coconuts. I guess they only had two coconuts on this record. There's usually three coconuts, but they had two. Very interesting. These guys look like zombies. I don't know what they're doing there, but anyway. So that was cool. Really like that. Then they had another record. This is 82. Yeah, 1982. Yeah. And then I think this is 1983. Yeah, 1983. This is a record that I don't know. And I got this, it's still sealed, so I haven't heard this one. See, I was in and out with them. I'm gonna talk about this really quickly. This one's called Doppelganger. And see, there's three coconuts in this one, see? And this August. All right, and this Mr. Hernandez back there. August Darnell holding the guitar. And this is Kid Creole and the Coconuts Doppelganger. And they have songs like The Lifeboat Party, Underachiever, If You Want to Be Happy for the rest of your life. They do a version of that. Distractions, Survivors, Call Me the Entertainer, There's Something Wrong in Paradise, It's a Wonderful Life. I think that was a big hit for them. In the backfield again, The 7-Year Itch, Bongo Eddie's Lament. So I think I'm going to crack this open and listen to it tonight, maybe. That'll be fun to celebrate August Darnell's birthday. That'll be fun. This was on Sire Records. They were on Sire Records, I think, for a long time. And let's see. Around this time, August Darnell was also a frustrated actor. He was involved with a lot of people in theater. He had done theater a lot, and he went back to the theater as a writer. He wrote music with another artist who did the lyrics for an off-Broadway show that I had seen called In a Pig's Valise. It's a comedy musical, and it starred Nathan Lane, who was not known. He was not known at that time. Nathan Lane was pretty much brand new. He wasn't famous yet, the actor. And I saw that on off-Broadway. My ex, who worked for this hair salon called Bumble and Bumble, one of the owners of Bumble and Bumble, Antonio Sadu, was the hairdresser for the production, and so we got to go see the show, and it was hilarious. But uh, Kid Creole and the Coconuts were in the show as the band, and basically, usually you have the orchestra down below the stage, like in front of the stage below, and they do all the music down there, and then the performers are on stage. Well, they were behind a scrim on stage, and the lights would light up whenever they were doing music. So they were actually part of the production because they would do all kinds of crazy stuff back there as a band. To do all the wild stuff. Kid Creole was doing his thing, and they were performing like really wild. And the show was done very Raymond Chandler film noir kind of thing. So that was the kind of show it was. It was very over the top, very exaggerated. And at first I was like, I don't like this. It's like overacted. And I said, oh, it's supposed to be melodramatic. But like, all this kind of stuff. That kind of thing. All the kind of wild stuff. But anyway, it was a fun show. And I was excited to see Kid Creole and the Coconuts in action on stage performing in a off-Broadway production. All right, and that was at that time. Then comes the pièce de résistance for me. They came out during the MTV time. They started getting videos put on MTV, and this was a huge one for them. This album that came out called, and you've probably seen this around, In Praise of Older Women and Other Tales. And this record had, Love Got Me Dancing on My Knees. Caroline Was a Dropout. That was a big one. Doo-wop, Salsa, Bop Top. Yeah, You Can't Keep a Good Man Down. But the big song on this was a huge hit in terms of video. And in terms of the song, because it had a really strong drum beat, had a strong bass line, and had strong keyboards. And it's just, the rhythm was driving. Boom, boom, ba-da-da-da-da-da. And the guitar was, it was really good. It's called Endicott. Endicott got me really done. Endicott, da-da-da-da-da. Endicott, da-da-da-da-da. Endicott, da. I think you know that song. So I'm excited because I love artist Darnell. I'm so excited to do this. So In Praise of Older Women and Other Crimes is the name of the record. And this came out in 1985, yeah, on Sire Records. And once again, a great record. Just to let you know, the reason why you probably don't know some of this stuff is because even though they started out really doing well in the United States, they were huge in Europe. They did really well in Europe. And so a lot of my releases that I have from them are UK pressings. So a lot of the UK pressings got over here, I guess, or they were imports or whatever, and that's how they, sustain themselves. They toured a lot in Europe, and they did very well over there. I think American audiences could not sustain themselves with this for some reason. I don't know why. B-52s continue, Devo, but Devo kind of went to a certain level, and then it kind of dropped off, and people who were diehard Devo fans were diehard Devo fans, and then everybody else just knew Whip It, right? That's the case. And also with B-52s, that's the same thing. They had their certain fan base, and then everybody else knows You Love Shack, right? So I think for this band, it's Endicott, and again. Hold on for 1 second. Yeah, it's been raining a lot, and there's a critter that tried to come in my house, and I don't like critters in my house. I live in Florida. There's a lot of critters in Florida. And so when it rains a lot, critters try to get inside the house. Go away, critters, or I kill you. Anyway. Just want to throw this out to you. This is a 12-inch of Endicott. Look at that artwork. Isn't that great? And the B-side for this is Doo-wop, Salsa, Bop Rock. Both great songs. So, yeah. All right. Now, And just to let you know, even though August has another band that he's doing now, I don't remember the name of the band, but Kid Creole and the Coconuts still exists, and he still heads that as well. They tour as Kid Creole and the Coconut. Finally, you get to see a close up of this man on a record. This is 1987, and this is called "I Too Have Seen the Woods." Now, mind you, I am skipping some stuff. Oh, wait. There's something that's missing. I'm missing something. I gotta find it. Give me 1 second. Folks, there's a record that I can't find that I did pull, and I can't find it. I had it in my hands. I don't know what I did with it. Isn't that crazy? When I was prepping for this. But anyway, I'll probably do a special little short video about that particular record. Anyway, there's a record called "I Too Have Seen the Woods." All right, and this one has on this, let's see, Agony, Ecstasy, Dancing at the Bandouche, Cold Wave, Call It a Day, Boxed Out. I don't know much about this record as well, but this is August Darnell. I was kind of like not paying attention to them at this time. I didn't buy this record when it came out. I bought this like maybe last year, but this is from 1987 because they were not getting promoted in the United States anymore because they were getting better promoted in Europe and UK, in the UK and in Europe and stuff like that. So I can't tell you much about this record, except that this is a nice close-up of August Darnell. And here are the Coconuts. Let's see who the Coconuts are on this one, just so I can give you some kind of information. Who are the Coconuts on this one? Haisha Fuller, Adriana Kagi, which was his wife at the time. Cody Mundi did the leads on this. Corey Day was still singing backup on here, but she was never a Coconut. So, let's see. Coffee Keats and Haisha Fuller. Yeah, don't see anybody else on here. Don't know them, but anyhow, I'm sure it's good. Now, on vinyl, the last thing I have on vinyl for Kid Creole and the Coconuts is a best of. That's this. Okay. And Lifeboat Parties on this one. Stool Pigeon, Gina, Annie, I'm Not Your Daddy, Mino Popeye. This was an early song that did. Mino Popeye, Mino Valilo. And I think that was from the first album. Latin Music, Off the Coast of Me, which is the title track of that other album. I'm a Wonderful Thing, Baby, Don't Take My Coconuts. Imitation, Melody d'Amour, Dear Addie, There's Something Wrong in Paradise, and Back in the Field Again. And it's produced by Andy Hernandez and August Darnell. And this is their best of Kid Creole and the Coconuts. Now, I have some other stuff, but I have them on CD. I'll show you really quickly. I love this group so much. If I want to smile, I'll put them on. There's a greatest hits, a very best of Dr. Bazaar's Savannah Band. And on this record, they play Play the Fool, Gigolo and I, Sun Shower, Hard Times, Mr. Love, Cherchez la Femme, I'll Always Have Smile for You, Organ Grinder's Tale, Sour and Sweet. You Got Something, Betcha the Love Bug Done Betcha, yeah. Transistor Madness, Soraya, March of the Ninjas, Auf Wiedersehen, okay, and We Got It Made, Night and Day. Yeah. So Peace Pipe is not on here for some reason. But I do have Peace Pipe on another compilation. I can't believe that's not on here. And then there's Kid Creole and the Coconuts around the time of I guess, Endicott and stuff. They have a Kid Creole redo, which is remixes and remakes of those songs. And on this one has a wonderful thing. On Endicott, there's something wrong in paradise. If you want to be happy, Stool Pigeon, Annie, I'm Not Your Daddy, Yolanda, It's a Wonderful Life, Dancing in the Bandouche, In the Jungle, Animal Crackers, Part of My Design, Call It a Day, and Lifeboat Party. But these are all remixes of those. And probably came from their singles. These probably came from the 12 inches that they had, and they just compiled them. They also have a live album, Kid Creole and the Coconuts Live. And on this, I'll just give you an idea of some of the stuff they do on here. Stool Pigeon, Don't Take My Coconuts, No More Casual Sex, My Male Curiosity, If You Want to Be Happy, I Love Girls, that's another good one. I'm a Wonderful Thing, of course they have to do that. They do Sly and the Family Stones, Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself. They do Play That Funky Music. They do Annie, I'm Not Your Daddy. They sing Oh What a Night, Oh What a Night. And they also sing Love Train by the OJs on this. So that's pretty cool. And then they have in 1991, this record is called You Should Have Told Me You Were. It's one of their later records. They still had a couple more albums after this. I'll have to explore that and see what they sound like. They probably don't sound as fun as these. I don't know. You know how things change as the years go on. I don't know any of the songs on this, but they have some nice titles like Baby Doc, My Sole Intention, Oh Marie, Your Move. She's a Party Girl was the big single on this one. She's a Party Girl. And this record's called You Should Have Told Me You Should Have Told Me You Were. And that's on CD. The only other thing I have on CD for them is one called Kid Creole, Going Places, the August Darnell years. He wasn't always with them, and I think he's back with them again, but from 1976 to 1983. But I think he came back with them later. This record has, has different people doing different things. I think Christina joined the group. Oh, yeah. It also has Machine on here, There Before the Grace of God. It has some Dr. Brazard stuff. I'm not going to go through those again. Go Into a Showdown. Dr. Armando's Second Avenue Rumba Band. He was in that band as well. Let's see. Geechee Dan's Beechwood Number 9 does a song called On a Day Like Today. I guess he was part of that too. Oral Exciters, Marathon Runner. I don't know that at all. Let's see. So it's a lot of stuff that August Darnell was involved with. So it's a nice little compilation of August Darnell stuff, if you're interested in that kind of thing. And you can find that at pretty cheap. I found this really cheap somewhere, probably for $1. But Kid Creole, who was August Darnell. And that's it. I can't find the cover of that other record. I got to look around and find that other record. But in any case, just want to say once again, happy birthday, August Darnell. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. I hope you have fun, as much fun as you've given us over the years, with making us smile and dance at the same time, and give us great visuals, and give us style. You know, ways to, because sometimes people dressed up in zoot suits because of this group, because of Kid Creole and the Coconuts. For sure, that's true. That really did happen in New York. And in any case, that's it for the video. And this is DJ Vino Vertigo signing out and saying, always keep listening to great music. It's fun. Bye.